A colourfully dressed board gamer beams at you. But even though his expression is ostensibly friendly, something about his energy is a little off. His smile is a little too wide, his stare a little too intense. You feel rather like a mouse that's just been spotted by a bored house cat.
Why a gee gosh golly and a hi-de ho! I'm Parker, the board games, and away we go! Hi there! I do love meeting new people to play with. And I do need new people to play with these days. I'm awful lonely up here in the big old attic. But you seem like a nice sort of fella already. Maybe you could be my next relationship. Would you like that? Oh boy! Well, if only it were up to me. You see, my whole deal with relationships has to do with rules. I love rules. If you want any sort of relationship with me, good or bad, we have to go through the rules. Want to hear them as they pertain to me? As they pertain to my whole deal and how this is going to turn out? Glorious! In order to achieve a relationship with me, you must play these board games 3. If you beat me or unseat me, more chances for love will greet thee. At the end, I roll a die to achieve a status. This, in the end, will be our dating apparatus. Ultimately, yes, but your actions during each game can change the weight of the die. The more you win, the more chances to love me. I'm falling in love with you. Just kidding. Only the final roll will tell me how I feel about you. Meet me here next time for our first game, Sandyland! Wowee! Hello and welcome to Sandyland. A magical beach-themed board game awaits us as we venture through the traffic to the parking lot to the Sandy Kingdom where beachgoers frolic among ice cream and sunscreen. Would you like to hear the rules? Both of our pieces are at the starting spot, home. There are 12 spaces in between here and the Sandy Kingdom, some with different rules. Each turn, we both spin a spinner to determine how far we go. Then, after landing, we follow the outcome. First one to the sandy shores wins the game! What color would you like to be? Oh, that one. Okay. The pieces are all set up. I'll be the banker and the rule tender. We are both at home. Shall we race each other to the beach? It's your turn. What will you do?
You weren't really anticipating stripping down when you first spoke to Parker, but what better way to make things interesting? You make short work of your clothes, getting down to just your underwear and leaving your clothing in a messy little pile on the floor. Parker stares at you just a little too long. It seems he wasn't prepared for things to be quite this interesting. His pale cheeks flush as his eyes roam over your body.
All right, as you wish.
It takes him a moment to compose himself, but he eventually manages to tear his gaze away from you, stripping down to a swimsuit. He seems somewhat unsettled, if his reddening cheeks and nervous demeanor are any indication.
Here is my beach-going form, ready for a typical day at the beach. Phew! It's your turn. What will you do? You spun a 1. You're on the first space. Traffic. Tough to get out of. My turn. Oh boy. I'm gonna spin, huh? Even though I spun a 2. Okay. I'm on the second space, the parking lot entrance. With the high fees at the beach, I'll have to move back one space to find a better price. Ooh. Looks like it's back to you. Phew! It's your turn. What will you do? You spun a 4. You're on the 5th space. Hot sand. The intense heat on the soles of your feet caused you to run forward 3 spaces. My turn. Oh boy. I'm gonna spin, huh? Even though I spun I can't spin this. Not while I'm dressed this way. I'm gonna put on my clothes again, and it'll be your turn next.
Parker does a magnificent spin, changing out of his swimsuit and back into his normal board game themed attire, with more pizzazz than you'd have given him credit for.
It's your turn. What will you do? You spun a 4. You made it to the Sandy Kingdom! You win! I tried my best, but you were simply a better beachgoer. I'm proud of you, and you get to enjoy the beach. That's 1 victory for you. I'll add it to your dice roll to see what our relationship will be. I'm so excited for you. Come see me next time for the ancient game of chess. You've heard of it. Excellent. See you, potential lover / friend / enemy. Welcome to the abode of mysteries, where today we will play the ancient game of chess. First founded as the Indian game known as Chaturanga before the 600s Anno Domini. That's year of our Lord Christ! It traveled throughout space and time to reach us today as the most popular board game of all. The game used to have elephants for pieces, but now it's like bishops and stuff. Do you know how to play? That's great! Saves me an explanation. I have the pieces set up right here. You can be white, I'll be black, which means you go first. This is the style of play that I would categorize as no. But what if I attacked you like so?
Parker pushes his knight far out into the playing field, seemingly completely undefended. Parker watches your move with a malevolent glee, barking out a triumphant laugh.
Ha! You fell for such a simple opening trap! You think I'm bad at chess? I got a fucking pawn on my goddamn head, bitch!
Parker proceeds to wipe the board with your pieces, outplaying you move after move. With an almost practiced ease, you bring a lost bishop out of your pocket and place it back on the board at random. Parker doesn't seem to notice. It looks as if you've gotten away with it.
Do your worst. Oh, my goodness! I didn't notice that was there. No! No! I guess I fell for the trap in the end. I can't believe I didn't notice that bishop.
Parker stares at you in silence for a few painfully long moments.
Well, what I love about chess is there's always something new to learn. Congratulations, you win a point toward my love. Still, I will see you next time for an ever so complex game with many of my beloved rules. Today, we will be playing a popular and complicated game. This is a game in the Eurogame tradition, one of resource allocation, worker placement, and cooperation between players. It's based on the 20th century dairy wars between England, France, and Belgium, called Cream Capitalist. We will both attempt to outproduce the cream that the other is attempting to make. Would you like to hear the rules? Your loss. How will you ever know whether your cream skimmers are operating at peak efficiency? I'll play as Belgium, which has a +3 bonus to currency exchange, which means you can be either England or France. Which will you choose? Huh, that's definitely a bad move. In the Cream Capitalist Championships, England is well known to be at a disadvantage because of the cow wandering exploit. Think of the exploit! Begin!
Parker distributes the pieces. a 10-minute process. You receive 5 cards with various types of cream-making machinery on them, 6 bulk cooling tank pieces, 24 cream maker worker pieces, a pasteurization token, and 8 or 9 things you can only describe as shapes. Though the rules are intricate, they are no match for your intellect and resource-mongering capabilities.
I'll go first so you can see how a turn usually goes. It consists of 5 phases.
Parker does a mathematical dance between placing workers, spawning new factories, and gathering new resources to then place again. Chits and chips fly through his fingers, and it serves to remind you just how well made the pieces really are.
That's my turn. I'm prioritizing fermentation technology, the last step in the cream-making process. Now you go.
Before long, your factories are awash in more milk than they can handle. The turn goes back to Parker, who spends 10 more minutes going through the 5 phases.
I've invested in new technologies. Once my factories are complete, my process will be airtight. Making cream will be a dream. Okay, I get the hint. I won't send any burglars your way.
You and Parker seem to be neck and neck in cream production and milk gathering. You've made it to the solstice season, where your respective countries' production will finally be scored. At turn 14, you see a critical opening.
Going all in on the final turn. The race is on.
And in the final turn, you ended up with 96 creamery points to Parker's 94.
Well done! You win! I can't outdo the Milkmaster. I will see you next time for our relationships ultimate dice roll. You're here! Oh, we've had so many adventures together, so many fun games. Now, I'm so excited to find out my feelings for you. Are you ready to begin the process? Oh, we need my good friend Chance for this.
I can't believe you're doing this, dude. This is a terrible way to find out your relationships. It should be done through careful, well-thought-out story beats, excellent lore, and a good sense of closure.
I love my dice. I need it. It's part of the rules of my love.
Fine. Here they are, your relationship dice.
They're beautiful, Chance.
Yep. Okay, so I'm supposed to weight them depending on how you played your games together?
Yes, the human gets extra love points for beating me, and extra hate points for cheating me.
It feels as though the temperature in the room drops several degrees. There's something downright terrifying in Parker's cold stare.
Of course I did. I'm board games, motherfucker! I've seen it all! Still, You only cheated once, which means that you only get one extra hate result added to the mix.
Parker's expression returns to normal, cheery but penetrating enough that it makes you feel a little nervous.
But of course, I could always still love you in the end, if the dice proclaim it so. Roll it, Chance! Roll for our eternal ending together!
Sure, dude. I've got the dice all done up like you wanted.
He holds out the dice to you, presenting them just before your big roll.
Looking good for love here. Let's hope it works out in the roll. It's love!
I love you. Oh, wow. I'm so happy. Even though you're a filthy fucking cheater, I just love you. You're the best, Chance. Thank you so much.
Sure, dude. Whatever.
I wish I knew how I felt about him, but he never lets me roll for our relationship. You won my eternal love! Oh, yes! Time for love. Even though you are a cheater, I can't help but see how lovely that makes you. I can't wait!
You play to your heart's content.
Fate has given me such gifts. Oh, yes! Time for love. Even though you are a cheater, I can't help but see how lovely that makes you. Holy frijoles! I get to be a real boy? Ah, you're the bestest. Do you have the right stats?
Parker, now it's your turn.
The spectral energy flows through your Dateviators, and what was once merely board games becomes... Parker spreads his arms wide, flexing his hands into fists and then pinching his fingers. He seems to be miming moving board game tokens on an imaginary board.
Wow! I can do anything now! Is that a dare? You're on! I'm gonna become an umpire! Bye!
Parker's expression shifts to one of unbridled lust. He looks at you like he's just won a 15-hour game of Frisk, the game of sexy conquest.
Oh! Yes, absolutely. My favorite thing to do? Erotic dice. Here we go, honey!
They turned up 5 and 3.
Oh, whoops! Wrong dice. Here we go, honey!
They turned up sex and elbow.
We've done it! The sacred combination. I'm gonna fuck your elbow!
Parker loves you according to the whims of the erotic dice. They are fickle things indeed, and your lovemaking is interrupted by their constant rolling. But this is the core of who Parker is. Human or not, the dice are an intrinsic part of him, and you'd not have it any other way. You may not always roll the way you'd like to, but there's no doubt when all is said and done that both you and Parker feel like winners. But the dice truly do control your time together. As you lie together, catching your breath and basking in the afterglow, you hear the sound of a die being rolled. And just like that, Parker is gone. Parker's thirst for rules is no less powerful as a human man. He tries all manner of board games, but none of them give him the rules-enforcing high he craves.
Rules. Need more rules.
But one day, wandering past a children's baseball game at the park, he hears the call of the umpire, and everything clicks.
Rules. Yeah.
He sees the way the children and their parents hang on the umpire's every word, devastated or overjoyed by his calls. And so Parker became an umpire, taking great delight in settling disputes and emphasizing the rules with every game.
Play ball! You're out! He's safe! Hey, if you have a problem with it, tell your son to play better, Sharon!
Parker's glee in enforcing the rules makes him a difficult fit for Little League, but none of the parents want him fired, because no one could ever credibly accuse him of making a bad call.
That's 5 realized dateables.
Parker's days of being an umpire add a powerful nobility to the profession. His steadfast regard for rules makes the players respect him, though his unpredictability makes them fear him. He's never been happier than when making a difficult call. You get together at random times to play erotic dice together, though you're never quite sure if he really loves you or if you're only one dice throw from him hating you forevermore.